Dentistry in General Radio Network presents
Dig's official podcast with Dr. Bob D.
Schein vs. Vyne, the fight over backdoor hacks into your data. Editorial opinion by Bob D. August 23, 2025, narrated by Judith AI at 1.1x speed. TLDR, security has to come before convenience or saving a few dollars. Too many dental tech companies still use backdoor methods instead of approved API, leaving practices wide open to breaches, HIPAA fines, and ransomware. Some of you know my history in technology, and if you don't, feel free to ask me privately. Let's just say I have been deeply involved in technology since I was 14 years old, and I know this space inside and out, specifically dental technology. It's not just dental politics I have a big mouth on. But this is important. Read the whole thing and support our Resolution 301 for the 2025 ADA's House of Delegates. Dentistryingeneral.com. Halfway down the page. For those of you who have read my previous writings, you know that security is my number one concern. I would rather give up features and convenience for a software that gives me the most secure solution. That has to be all of our concerns, because the most important thing we have in our businesses is not a great hygienist or that brand new $100,000 laser we bought. It's our data. Protect it properly, because most dental offices don't. Read my writings on cloud and imaging technology in dentistry and the misinformation out there. I also have a checklist. Search my Facebook group and other Facebook groups on the subject or message me for it. I'm not saying this is not money-driven. I don't know. It's possible. What I do know is that the revenue from this line of service isn't exactly huge, yet it has created a lot of bad publicity. I'm not privy to any internal motivations. And full disclosure, I have not been on the Ascend Advisory Board for over a year, and they don't pay me for any advertising. I do have many friends at Henry Schein and Vyne, regular hardworking employees, and the C-suite. I do have an advantage of being able to go to them and ask questions. This issue, though, is a no-brainer for me. For me, it's about protecting patient data and nothing else. Everyone knows how critical I have been about Henry Schein and Dentrix Ascend not providing multi-factor authentication. It's being beta tested now, thankfully. But I can't be a hypocrite here and not side with them on this. This is a security risk. Dentists in general put money and convenience before security. That's a fact. Most dental offices do not spend enough to safely secure their on-prem servers. That's another fact. My main reason for being an advocate of the cloud technology is the fact that at least your data cannot be taken hostage if you are using a cloud software. But even if you're using a cloud system, a breach of your local network is still a HIPAA violation, and you are obligated to report and pay fines. Your data might not be taken ransom because the cloud company is protecting it, but your patient data was still exposed. At the end of the day, you are responsible for your systems, your choice of IT, and your choice of software. I'm a fan of the open source initiative, but if you're using the word open in your software, it shouldn't mean it's open to all hackers. Linux is open source, but also very secure. If you use software that leaves ports wide open, or you hire one of the hundreds of IT companies that set things up wrong due to incompetence or economics, they will not be held accountable. You as the owner will. Don't get me wrong, you can use software that is open securely, if and only if you're spending enough money on IT to protect the data. Two of the most popular dental software companies out there that are always mentioned by dentists as the best are the most commonly found databases on the dark web. I used Renaissance, bought by Vyne in 2020, back in the early 2000s with Easy Dental. I called it Dentrix Lite. Renaissance Electronic Services was created in 2002 by Delta Dental entities in Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio to handle electronic claims. It grew into a major clearinghouse before being acquired by Vyne. Vyne rolled it into their product line and offered it for claims, clearinghouse, and attachments, but through a method that bypasses Dentrix APIs. That method worked back in the day, but now it is a major vulnerability waiting to be exploited. This is not 2005 anymore. Hackers are targeting small businesses like ours, and I know multiple offices that have paid six figures in ransom and penalties. Henry Schein, as the largest software vendor in dentistry, is also under the microscope after the rise in breaches. I have been critical of them for years for putting customer-requested features ahead of security. In the past few years, they've changed course and are working hard on security. The HS1 CTO and Chief of Security are making sure all bases are covered. I actually trust them that they will take care of security, slowly but surely. The problem is the size of company and things moving slowly. But I digress. Please note that the supply equipment company side hack last year was unrelated to Henry Schein One, which runs their technology and software division, and for all practical purposes operates differently. Still, the biggest player in dental software will remain under the magnifying glass. There's something else that bothers me, and that's my free market and capitalist views. People complain about Henry Schein charging these companies for what they've built and the use of it. I'm not going to sit here and defend the prices of one company or another. Maybe they're more expensive, maybe in the long run they're saving these vendors money. But in a capitalistic world, I'm not going to tell Henry Schein they can't charge companies to connect to their software. Think about it this way. If another dentist set up shop down the street and wanted to use your CBCT or your new laser for their own patients without paying you, you would have a problem with that. You invested in it, you maintain it, you insure it, and it is part of your value. The same logic applies here. I'm not saying this is their reasoning. I'm saying we need to be fair. There are companies out there that refuse to do what is ethically correct, in my opinion, even though legally they may be allowed to do so. What worries me here is not the business rationale, it's that the door is being left wide open. Multiple vendors already offer the same services through official integrations, using APIs approved by the software company that holds the data. That's not politics. That's basic cybersecurity. If a company doesn't want to go through the normal route, they'll build backdoor hacks. I will not endorse that. Court rulings confirm that patient data belongs to the provider, not the vendor. But once we put our patient records into someone else's infrastructure, we rely on them to keep it secure. We can't shrug and allow any backdoor connection to slide through unchecked. If the setup requires leaving ports open, I don't care how secure or compliant someone claims it is, that same opening can be used by others. A virtual printer or sync agent might do its job through that channel, but if the door is open for unauthorized access, other unauthorized access is also to be expected. If the door is open, it is open for everyone. Open Dental is a perfect example. Before version 18.4, they shipped MySQL with the root user and a blank password, plus weak MD5 hashes and exposed credentials. That is a hacker's dream. MySQL ports like 3306 are constantly scanned by attackers. You can see it here. Links are available in the caption. Even Open Dental's own documentation warns against exposing MySQL to the internet. Check the caption for links. And it's not just one vendor. A misconfigured MongoDB recently exposed over 8 million dental patient and appointment records. Read all about it through the links provided in the caption. There are also countless ransomware attacks on offices in Washington, Texas, Indiana, and almost every state that compromised names, social security numbers, images, and billing data. You can find these by a simple Google or AI search. Times have changed. Vulnerabilities are everywhere. What was once a convenient method is now a major liability. A secure vendor relationship means they work with your data holder, use official APIs, enforce audit logs, encryption, and hardened endpoints. That's basic hygiene, not optional. And it's not just this one method being scrutinized. Companies like Sika and Nex Health have also used database connectors and sync agents that cybersecurity experts have warned about. With AI now able to parse databases and infer structures without APIs, the risk is even bigger if these shadow integrations continue. The choice is yours if you want to utilize software that is wide open and allows these types of connections. Security is not a luxury, and it is not a choice. It's the foundation of everything we do. You can decide to cut corners, you can decide to go with convenience over compliance, but then you better be ready to explain that decision when something goes wrong. Your patients, your team, and the regulators will all want answers. And I didn't think it would happen to me is not going to cut it. Plug for me. If I have helped you or informed you in any way and want to thank me, please consider attending my amazing CE event, Digapalooza, in the Chicago area, November 7-8, 2025. Thank you. Links are available in the caption. Checklist. What you should ask every vendor before you sign. 1. Will you sign a business associate agreement that covers the desktop agent, the cloud, and all subcontractors? 2. Do you use an official supported API for integration, or do you connect directly to my database? 3. What encryption do you use in transit and at rest, and do you have third-party reporting? 4. Do you keep an audit trail of every access event, and can I see it? 5. If your connector needs open ports or direct SQL access, how do you secure them? 6. Do you provide multi-factor authentication and role-based access? 7. How fast will you notify me if you have a breach, and what is your incident response plan? 8. Bonus, but equally important question. If they provide imaging, capturing images or modifying images, do you have FDA clearance and ask to see it? They all must have it if they capture or modify the images. Some salespeople lie, unfortunately.
This has been a production of Dentistry in General Radio Network. Visit our website, dentistryingeneral.com, to join engaging clinical and business conversations, explore our dental podcasts, and stay updated on our upcoming live events.